Hey guys, got another package here to open here for you from a Brian Walmer. Let's see what he sent me here. Let's see, we got some mail to read here first. Dear Bobsheaux, I hope both you and Raven had a great new year and hope to have a splendid 2017 for the rest of this year. Raven, is this going splendidly so far?
Hectic but splendid, yes.
It's just as long as the splendid's in there, then any other adjective can do as well. Bob, I've always enjoyed your reviews and can't wait to see what you have in store for the rest of this year. I was actually recommended to you via YouTube after watching a nostalgia critic review of The Legend of the Titanic. Oh, nice. Now, I do have a recommendation of a webcomic series, sort of a webcomic series, that you can view over at MrInternetman.deviantart.com. The series is called Mystic Makeover. Sounds fabulous! Which focuses on a young female college geek named Veronica, who is given by an unknown source, mystical lipstick called Nightshade. That when she applies it to herself, she becomes a mischievous demon elf called Demonica. Color me interested. As Demonica, she can shapeshift into anyone or anything she wants. Example, different people, cars, planes, and she can even create copies of herself, etc. Sounds awesome. The series has been going on for quite some time now. I do highly recommend you and Raven check it out. Well, we have been looking for something to kind of fill the void since Sabrina Online suddenly canceled on us, so maybe you want to check it out with me, Raven?
Sure. And you can, when you find it on DeviantArt, you can put the link to it in the information below the video.
Absolutely. Oh, there it is. Let's see. I recommend the crossover comic to start out with between Demonica and another character named Lilith called Fun and Games, where Demonica / Veronica, spoiler ahead, I may just want to keep this to myself as I read it. Oh my. Yeah, that is a spoiler that I'm glad I did not reveal for this video. Now, if you ever review an Archie Sonic comic, you should try and take a stab at either the Mecha Sally arc, issues 230 through 247. Wow, that's quite an arc. Because, boy, does that have an interesting behind-the-scenes story to it. Or the 3-year Shattered World Crisis / Sonic Unleashed arc, issues 252 through 287. Those are just some suggestions of reviews I hope to get to review someday. Now, the DVD I sent you here is a 2-disc set of movies featuring the stars of the James Bond films before they became Bond. Interesting. Hope you can get good use out of it for future reviews. Now, I do have some questions for you and Raven. We got some Q&A time. 1. Have you and/or Raven ever seen Revolutionary Girl Utena, the movie?
No.
No. I have not either. And if so, what did she think of the last 15 to 20 minutes of it, because many consider those minutes to be the biggest WTF moments in an anime film?
Well, now I know why you haven't seen it. It's anime.
One of the biggest WTF moments in anime? Wow. I am horrified right now.
Watching an entire anime? Could you handle watching an entire anime movie?
Oh, I've seen entire animes before. I'm not going to tell you I understood everything that I saw, but I have seen entire animes. But biggest WTF moments. Okay, I guess we got to add that to the list now, don't we? Of things at least to see, if not review.
If it is non-adult, I can ask my son about it because he's a big anime fan.
Good point. Question number 2. Bob, what is the strangest WTF anime cartoon you've ever seen? Well, the question here says anime / cartoon I've ever seen, so the most WTF cartoon I've ever seen, that's got to be anything by our old friend Mr. Screamer Claus. Yeah. So,
Second in line for that, I would have to say, is Feliday. That was weird.
Yes, it was.
And disturbing.
Mm-hmm. Hey, look, cat intestines. Blech.
And cat sex.
Really, really pointless cat sex. I mean...
Would it have been all that much better had there been a point?
Oh yeah, it definitely could have. Because, you know, all these cat murders are directly linked to sex. We have this super slutty cat walking around. Francis, meow. Why doesn't Francis immediately think, this girl knows me, but I don't know her? She knows somebody. She knows that I'm on somebody's trail. She's a plant. She can lead me to whoever's behind the murders. Hey, sexy, how you doing? Why don't you just go ahead and take me to your boss?
Okay.
That could have had a purpose, but yeah. Ugh.
Okay. Moving on.
Question number 3. What superhero movies are you and Raven looking forward to this year? This year. We have Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm definitely looking forward to that one.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2, yes. Oh, my lord. This can't be good. What else is coming out? Oh,
Justice League coming out this year?
Yes, I was gonna say I am not looking forward to Justice League at all. I have my fears for Wonder Woman, but I know that I'm gonna have to see it anyway.
I am looking forward to both of those just because I know that you're going to be bitterly disappointed and your ranting and raving is always...
No. See, being bitterly disappointed would imply that I had some hope for these films. Oh, look, Justice League sucked. Surprised?
You have hope.
Not a lot.
Yeah, well, some. It's there.
Let's see. Question number 4. Bob, how long have you been a fan of Sabrina Online, and what are your thoughts of an animated feature adaptation of it, should that happen? What are your thoughts of Zigzag as a character? Let's see. I think I came across Sabrina Online... Actually, it was back in my college days. I was taking this, I think it was 2010. I was taking this animation history class, and, of course, one of the things that has to be discussed is the relationship between Walt Disney and his star animator, Iwerks, who was actually legendary for drawing 700 animation cells a day. That is insane. Now, granted, cartoons were very simplistic back in those days, but still, 700 drawings a day? I dare anybody to match that. Eventually, he left Disney and tried to form his own studio, and while Iwerks and Disney are famous for the creation of Mickey Mouse, Iwerks tried to make up his own character called Flip the Frog, who's Flip the Frog, you ask? Exactly, that's the point. Flip did not fly at all, so he quickly fell away into obscurity. I was looking for some Flip cartoons on my own spare time, and I found this other Flip the Frog, drawn by someone named Eric Schwartz. Wait a minute. This isn't Flip the Frog, but it's entertaining. Okay, let's see what this Eric Schwartz guy's done. Oh my goodness, he's got a comic, and it is very funny. I gotta read more of this. So, there you go. If there was a Sabrina Online animated film series, it would need to be aware of its place in internet history, as it's got to be a period film. It could not be done today. It would need to take place in the year 1996, back when women on the internet actually were just that rare of an occurrence. Because, of course, the comic opens with Sabrina discovering the wonders of the internet and how pretty much alone she really is. She's bombarded by all these come-ons by a bunch of freaky loners on the internet and all that. And then, finally, she meets this really sweet guy, Richard, and oh, yay! If an adaptation of Sabrina Online was going to happen, it would need to be very true to what it was. That comic really did kind of grow up along with the internet, so it kind of needs to be reflective of that. It needs to showcase the history of the internet and internet culture and all that, so yeah. If you've heard something about someone making an adaptation of Sabrina Online, then I would hope that they're saying very true to what it is, because it can only be that thing, really. And Zigzag as a character, I'm a fan. For those of you who are not familiar with Zigzag as a character, you've seen me reference her in a couple of pinup shots here and there in the course of my show, you need to really look into who she is, because she's got a lot more dimension than people might think. Long story short, I suggest you read Sabrina Online to really kind of study up on her. But she is no stranger to abuse in her childhood, but she did not let it define her. It's part of who she is, certainly, but that's not her defining factor. She decided that she is going to live exactly the kind of life that she wanted to lead, and considering the troubled backstory that she has, that's pretty admirable. So, Zigzag, go you. You're awesome. Question number 5. Now, I do not know if you or Raven have ever heard of the TV trope Lustful Melt. If not, here's a description for it, courtesy of TV Tropes, and the link that gives you more info on where to find this gag in the media. The Lustful Melt description. A fairly common staple of Western animation, this trope involves a character being so enamored with another that their whole body turns into a puddle of goo. I've seen that in some places, yes. Can be used as the female equivalent of something else also rises, and often is, as seen in a lot of Warner Bros. 1990s cartoons, like Animaniacs and Tiny Toon Adventures. Male characters can experience this too, but it's either used as a censor decoy, if the censors don't want implications of erections to be shown, or if the writer wants to move past metaphorically showing an erection or ejaculation and go straight to metaphorically showing an orgasm post-coital come-down.
My goodness.
Really? A subtrope...
Think we get it.
Yeah, really. A subtrope of, I'm meditating, and a, sometimes, distaff counterpart of something else also rises. Yes, I am well aware of that particular trope. Raven?
Yeah.
Yeah.
First thing that popped into my mind was, I think I've seen it in, like, Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I'm sure. And I'm just curious as to when was the first time you and Raven saw this trope gag happen. Oh man, that thing is as old as time itself. That's like asking, when was the first time you saw someone in a movie see... someone who's starving in a movie see some other character as a big piece of steak or something.
Yeah, probably when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's just too old to really account for. Question number 6. Bob, have you ever seen the 1987/88 film, The Invisible Kid? I have not. I believe this would be perfect for a review for you to do, and it has a scene in it with the main lead female that I think Raven could react for you instead of a review. You can find it here on YouTube. Well, good to know. I have to take a look at that later. Question 7. Do you guys think Marvel will do another in-theater screening marathon of all their MCU movies leading up to their debut of Avengers Infinity War next year? Or do you think Marvel/Disney will play it safe and just show the Avengers movies instead? I was actually unaware of any kind of showing of all of the Marvel movies at once leading up to Avengers, so that's news to me. That would be awesome, if very, very cumbersome. I mean, good God, how many Marvel movies are out now these days? Just a continuous stream of one movie after another leading up to Infinity War? that, whichever theater is showing that, I hope they have food and beverages prepared. And lengthy intermissions. Because between movies, you gotta get up and stretch the legs. Final question. Bob, do you and Raven watch Riverdale? Very hard to read because that was written in yellow font for some reason. And do you think it's a betrayal of the characters and who they really are or not? Very astute final question there. I do not watch Riverdale. I've never had any compulsion to read anything Archie related, but I am seeing what looks like a Nolanification of the Archie universe of all things, and I'm thinking, huh? Why? Linkara has also expressed confusion over the continued existence of Archie when everything else in the comics industry is trying to be as dark and gritty as possible. And somehow Archie, gosh, gee golly willikers, has somehow managed to survive. For whatever reason that Archie has continued to survive, people are gravitating towards that. I guess its continued printing can only mean that people are reacting well to the lighthearted nature of the comic and these stories and these characters, and to see it basically made into what it is in Riverdale, it's just... who thought of this? I mean, who outside of making this an SNL sketch thought this would be a good idea? I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't know how good it may be, but it does not look like Archie to me. If I was an Archie fan, I would be completely turned off by it. And, jeez, I can only imagine the Riverdale fans who are going up to the old school Archie fans for years upon years. Oh my god, Archie is so awesome. It's not Archie! You have no idea what you're talking about here!
That would be like a Batman comic that was fun.
I know, right? Insanity.
No one would read it.
I know. By the way, if anyone is not reading Batman 66, why not? Read Batman 66. It deserves more fans. Well, that's all for now. Anyway, take care and God bless. Brian Walmer, a.k.a. B.W. Rowis... B.W. Roses, sorry, I can't read, on YouTube, a.k.a. I can't read, a.k.a. Browses98 on Twitter. So, thank you very much, and now let's see this DVD that he got us here, which apparently features a whole bunch of Bond actors before they were Bond. Let's see, starring Daniel Craig, Timothy Dalton, and Roger Moore, before they were Bond, with films like Love and Rage, Gold, Passion's Way, Legend of Seawolf, Nightmare in Badham County, The Slave of the Cannibal God, ooh, Silverhawk, The Satanic Rites of Dracula. I didn't know that Christopher Lee was in a Bond movie. Interesting. And The Phantom Planet. I only just recently told Raven about this movie. This is the one with the planet that can, like, control gravity, and that's how it, like, moves around in space and crap. Starring Richard Kiel, who plays a very silly-looking dog monster in this. So, thank you for these movies. I shall certainly enjoy them and mull them over, and who knows, maybe they'll appear on the show someday. If you guys want to send me any packages or mail or anything, just send them to the P.O. Box in the corner there, and I will see you later.